Hi, this is Ms. Vistillos from Bristow Middle School, 6th grade. And today we will be using the order of operations to evaluate expressions. So just a reminder, one of the strategies that we use on this is GEMDAS. So this is a little bit confusing because students confuse multiplication or division, addition, subtraction, because they think multiplication has to come first, but it doesn't. It can be either one. So another way to remember that is G for our groups, our parentheses, brackets, braces, E for our exponents, M, so just M for our multiplicative operations. So it's either multiplication or the opposite of multiplication. Either one comes first. And then A for our additive operations. So we can either add first or we can do the opposite of adding first, whichever one comes first from left to right. So we can remember GEMMA instead of GEMDAS. Looking at what we're going to practice today, we're practicing to see if we can use that order of operations correctly. So that's our learning target for this lesson. We're also practicing doing some substitution. So our first problem that we have is 3x minus 7 for x equals 4. So I'm going to line up my equal signs, and I'm just going to start by rewriting my problem. 3x minus 7, and I'm going to create a column here where I write in words the operation that we're doing. The first thing that we need to do is we need to substitute. So we're going to substitute our value for x in here, and so we get 3 times 4 minus 7. Now we can start using our GEMMA, G-E-M-A, and we can look at it. We can do our groups first. There's no groups. There's no exponents. So we go into our multiplicative operations, and we do have some multiplying. So we're going to multiply 3 times 4, which is 12. Notice how I keep my minus 7s lined up along the page. There's no more multiplicative operations, so we're going to do our additive operations, and we're doing the opposite of addition, which is subtraction. 12 minus 7 equals 5, and I just boxed that answer to make sure that it looks neat. I'm going to fix my line. I made it a little bit too long. Our next problem that we're going to do is 3x minus 2 for x equals 5. We'll start by rewriting my problem, 3x minus 2. When we rewrite the problem like that, we're just acknowledging that that's the problem that was given to us. This is what is given right here to us. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to substitute so that we can go ahead and evaluate it. And we get 3 times 5 minus 2. I do my GEMMA. No groups, no exponents, but there is a multiplicative operation. It's multiply. When I multiply 3 times 5, I get 15 minus 2. There's no more multiplicative operations, so we do our additive operations, and in this case, we do the opposite of adding, which is subtraction. And 15 minus 2 is 13. Remember that you can pause this video at any time to help yourself and slow it down. Our next problem that we have is 4x plus 9 for x equals 5. Chosen some friendly numbers for us today, starting by rewriting our problem, 4x plus 9. We're going to substitute in our value. So we get 4 times 5 plus 9. Do my GEMMA. A little bit less work on writing it, isn't it? There's no groups, there's no exponents. We're going to do our multiplicative operations. In this case, it's multiply. 4 times 5 is 20 plus 9. Now it's our additive operations, and in this case, we're actually going to add. So we're going to add it. And 20 plus 9 is 29. Looking at the structure, seeing how I'm lining everything up, I'm explaining in words what my operation is that I'm using every single time. Our last problem that we're going to fit on this page is x cubed plus 3. So now we're getting into exponents for x equals 2. So that's an exponent because it's raised up. If you were to type this out on a computer, you would call this superscript. See what happens when you type something and you do superscript. So I'm going to start by rewriting my problem, x cubed plus 3. I'm going to substitute in my value. Substitute. I have a hard time spelling. Hey, everybody has challenges. So we get 2 to the third plus 3. I'm going to do my gemma, groups, exponents, multiplicative operations, and additive operations. And this time we don't have any groups, but we do have exponent we need to deal with. And what we're going to do is we're going to expand that out. That's 2 to the third, which is 2 times 2 times 2 plus 3. We're still taking care of that exponent, but we don't want to make any mistakes. 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8, so we get 8 plus 3. Now it's going to be, let's fix that camera, our additive operations, and we're going to add 8 plus 3 equals 11.